I'm fired up. Happy Friday, everybody. It is Friday, September 18th. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks for joining us for another daily market update. Had an awesome day. Hope you had an awesome day in the markets. I'm going to hit a Hexo vape before we get started because I had the best trading day of my life today, and I hope you did as well. So we'll jump into the content here. In today's video, we're going to discuss SPY's daily head and shoulders confirming, and we're also going to go over some trade reviews, and we'll cover the indices as well and some individual stocks. But today was quad witching, and if you watch my video from yesterday, I said they're probably going to want to pin it at 340 or 330 or 340, and to either pay out the calls or pay out the puts. And there was a lot of activity at the 330 level. There was a lot of activity at the 340 level. But what I expected was they were going to, all my friends are buying calls, AMD calls. I'm like, I don't know. Like the charts are saying bearish, and you know they're justifying it. But I'm like, okay, do whatever you want to do. And then I started thinking, well, they're probably going to burn the calls and screw over retail. And that's exactly what happened. I even posted in the group chat today. So if you look here, I posted about an hour ago. I'll just hide my face here for you folks, but you can see here I said they may flush this into the end of the day and cause max fear, and no one would want to hold over the weekend. And I said they'll probably slow grind it up into the end of the day, and this was at about an hour. This is about a little over an hour ago, and it's currently 5 p.m. Atlantic, so 4 p.m. Eastern, so just after market close. And like I said, I was expecting them to flush it at the end of the day. So I said they probably want to pin this at 330 and burn the calls at 340 since it's quad witching. And maybe they ramp it a bit now, then sell off about 15 to 30 minutes before the close, then ramp into the close and pin it at 330. That's my thesis. And what exactly happened? Let's take a look at SPY here real quickly. Give me 1 second here. My browser's not working for whatever reason. Let's just grab this here, close. All right, sorry about that. I'm gonna have to close that down. Okay, so here's the SPY chart. So what I said was they were probably going to ramp it up in the end of the day. This is about an hour ago. You can see just before the close, we closed at just right here at 1920. Yeah, so about a couple hours ago, and we were slow grinding up. We held that support line. One thing to note is that we were rejecting at EMA 12 resistance. We crossed over the EMA resistance, and that was the go signal. So we changed the 5-minute trend. We were in a 5-minute uptrend, and we got above and we held the EMA 12, and then we had this uptrend line, solid uptrend line. And like I said, they flushed it into the end of the day, and then they even tried to ramp it up a little bit, like I said, toward the end, and then they pinned it at 330. It was almost too perfect. I couldn't believe it. I hope you had a great trading day. If you didn't, you got to be trading with a group of people. And if you're not in a community, I suggest checking out powgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com. We have a 7-day free trial. You can come check us out. But I gave it that signal well in advance. And we even have an algo that has buy and sell signals. So you can check out powgroup.ca. Like I said, for our memberships, you just go here. You can see all of there's our chat room there. And you get 3 different membership options. You can also just buy the algo. This 7-day free trial includes the algo. We have a bi-weekly newsletter, and we also do consultations, one-on-one coaching. But as you can see, it's exactly what played out. They pinned it at 330. They burned the calls. They screwed over retail and left people scrambling. People didn't want to hold into the weekend, so it created a sell. And I think we're going down into Monday for sure. And hopefully you hedged or you took some risk off at the end of this week, because what I'm about to show you is going to blow your mind, and you're going to wish, you're going to be hoping and praying, and that's not an investment strategy that I would want to use. But if you held over the weekend long on SPY, QQQ, or tech sector, or any of these high risk stocks right now, I don't know what to tell you, because they pinned it perfectly at 330, like I called for in yesterday's video. I called it out at an hour. I literally explained exactly what was going to happen. Not that I have a crystal ball, but you got to start to use your head and common sense. And just the biggest thing that's helped me in my investment career and my trading career is putting myself into the shoes of a market maker. If you can put your shoes into the market maker's shoes, if you can put yourself in that situation and just pretend, what would you do, right? And that's one thing and a lot of people in the group are making me think about things more and more because I'm explaining it to them. But oh man, it's absolutely incredible what that can do for your trading. So let's go over some indices here. We'll start with SPY on they're ramping it up here, but again, they closed at 330, so it doesn't matter for them. Looking at the monthly chart, so we didn't break the low of the previous month, but the month isn't over yet, but it was 327.73, 327.97. So we held that. And taking a look at the weekly and the Bollinger Bands, you can see here that we had a daily, well, I'll bring that up in a second, but we did hold EMA 12 here as well on the weekly chart. We did dip below it, but bulls tried to save it. And you can see here that just like in the video that I explained yesterday, you would have had a huge heads up a day in advance that this is probably going to be head and shoulders. And it did confirm, and we closed below that neckline. And if you take the measured move roughly of where that would take us, right down to the 319 level. Where did I say this bear flag would take us? Right down to the 319 level. A lot of confluence in that level. It was also a previous all-time high. So we have a little gap in the chart. So like what more of a heads up could you have needed? Again, this is why we're in a community and we share ideas and we have multiple eyes on the market to beat the market. And it absolutely paid off in a huge way today. So daily downtrend on SPY. Taking a look at the weekly, we're still looking for a weekly high or low, right? Because we didn't have any support. So this shouldn't come by a surprise by any means. And just for the sake of time, I want to make this video a little shorter today. I know it's Friday. Everybody's itching to get out and enjoy the weekend. So taking a look, I did want to mention that I did see a 4-hour bear flag here to start the day. That's what I noticed from yesterday, is that, oh, that could be a bear flag. And that's exactly what happened. And then I think we also had an hourly bear flag. Yeah, we had an hourly bear flag here, which played out perfectly. And we had previous support on QQQ at 264. I'll just bring that up. So you can see here on 264, what did we hit? 262. So, and then we did save it with the lower wick. So as soon as I saw that, I made a few trades today. I was in Apple. I flipped Apple long once we saw that grind up. Like I said, I expected them to grind it up into the end of the day. There was a gap on the Apple chart, which I'll show in just a second. But yeah, I knew that QQQ was there. I swung short over the last night, made huge money. I can't even resuscitate all the trades that I made today, but I didn't have one bad trade. And yeah, I was short into the break of 331. I was short from 333. Then once we broke 331 and we started to flush to 262 on QQQ, I knew that Apple was getting close to its 106 support. I knew that the support on QQQ was approaching, and oil was reaching support as well, US oil. So I flipped long Apple. Like I said, thought that I knew they'd probably slow grind it up into the end of the day. And like I said, what's the pattern that we've been looking for is slow grind up and flush it down. It still has, so we'll keep doing that until it doesn't work anymore. And where did I leave off? So yeah, that's what gave me confidence of entering Apple. And then I exited Apple toward the end of the day when we hit 108 resistance. And we were also coming up on 268 resistance on QQQ. So I sold Apple. Then what did we see? Huge puke in Apple. Huge puke, lost the uptrend in QQQ into the end of the day. Oh, it was too perfect. Absolutely too perfect. And again, if this surprised you, then I don't know what to tell you, because you should have seen this coming from a mile away. And if you've been checking into the channel, subscribe to the channel, tick little bell, you'll be notified on any updates. But I called this out multiple times. So like I said, taking a look at oil. So we were looking at oil before it flushed. So we had a head and shoulders. So that was the first thing that I noted. So, and then we also on SPY we also had multiple touches of the 333 level, and the bounces were nothing really, and they just kept setting lower highs and lower lows. We're into a downtrend again. So I knew that that level was getting weaker, and I expected to see some significant volatility and momentum to pick up. And like I said, that's what we got. And we as soon as we lost 331, people obviously panicked. We were in a downtrend, daily downtrend. People were panicking. Friday, blah, blah, blah. Maybe they just wanted to turn the computer off and run away. But yeah, as soon as Apple lost the low of yesterday as well, that's what triggered this sell-off. But you can see on US oil, what gave me confidence. See, the most important thing for me right now, or for me during the trading day, it was US oil and DXY, the dollar index, because I was looking to see when the dollar was going to bounce. We had support at 92.70. What did we hit? 92.77. And I was like, that's close enough. And then I saw US oil, because the XLE, we knew that SPY wasn't going to go down. We saw the weakness in the tech sector, but we knew that SPY wasn't going to go down unless XLE chilled out and oil chill out. And that's exactly what we got. It was oil chilled out, and more than chilled out. It hit a head and shoulders, which I gave a heads up well in advance. We broke that neckline. We formed a bear flag here on the 5-minute and just psyched people out. And then that's when we got the flush and the huge move up, the move down in QQQ and the like. And then later on, we started to see gold sell off and Bitcoin sell off. So all sectors going in one direction. That's what we want, is those wins that are back. And if you're bullish, if you got your bull blinders on, you can't be ignoring the charts. And a lot of people are saying, well, the stimulus bill. Well, the stimulus bill, in my opinion, has been priced in. We've been hoping on that. We've been going up on hopes that it was gonna, because everybody just thought it was a shoe-in, right? Oh, of course they got to give people more money. What else are we gonna do? But no. And so even if that does come, it might be a sell the news. Maybe we ramp a little bit, but mostly a sell the news. And if it doesn't come, then what? So you got to think about that, right? You got to play devil's advocate and think of both. I'm not constantly bearish. You've just been tuning in while I've been trading bearish, because that's the trend. The trend is your friend. So once the trend starts to change, then I will change my tune. But for right now, that's not changing. And I did want to show SPY on the daily chart. So we closed below the 50-day moving average. We closed at 330.68, pinned it right at 330, paid out those puts with those activity. And then we had our 50-day moving average at 332. So closed well below the 50, no support until the 100 until 316. And now let's show you the weekly chart, because this is the deal maker right here. Oh, that's SPXS. SPY closed below 332, which was the 10-week moving average. MACD's crossing bearish, stochastics crossing bearish. We're in a daily downtrend. We had a daily bear flag. We had a daily head and shoulders. I don't know if you've been bull this entire time. I don't know what to tell you, because you're just riding the FOMO train and the hype train and max euphoria, and it's going to burn you, because the story's the same with QQQ. Close below, stochastic MACD hasn't happened since March lows. Not good, not good at all. QQQ, let's take a look at what it did on the daily. I'm just going to highlight these. Closed well below. Actually, let's do a couple more. XLV, closed below 106. XLF, it's been kind of holding up the sector. 24.68, closed above. So that did close, so a little bit stronger there relative to the others. And well below. Ew, yikes. So this is going to get interesting. This is going to get really interesting. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you if you went long. I feel bad, because I'm thinking they gap this thing down into Monday. We're starting to see more talks of bankruptcies. Yeah, it's just not good at the moment. I don't see a whole lot of positive things right now in the market. Like I said, maybe a Trump winning the election, but all signs are pointing to Biden winning. And again, I'm not a politician or anything. I don't care who wins. But one thing I wanted to note is, if Biden does win, though, we could see the stock market go down because of the corporate tax that they want to introduce, but we could see MJ go up. And we saw today that I think Canadian MJ was outpacing like $200 million in revenue or something like that, which is, you can just give it a Google, but saw a headline came out about that today. And the market's been going down, and we've been relatively unchanged in Canadian MJ. US MJ, though, we had the news from Trulieve, so that hurt the sector, the US sector. As we saw that Trulieve diluted, they're still at 25.40, but overall, MJ's been holding up a lot better comparative to the overall market, and maybe that's because it's been beaten down for so long, but I'm starting to pay attention to this because, like I said, I have a position that I'm building in Hexo, closed at 78 cents today. We know we have resistance at 83 cents. So maybe you're trimming. Maybe you want to wait on a break of an 83 if you're a patient bull. Maybe you're waiting for a higher low on the hourly, who knows? Yeah, one thing I've noticed, though, is that it has been relatively strong. And even when we were going down today, and Hexo started to go down before the market went down today, that was another key, clue, because for the rest of the time, it wasn't doing anything. It was just either going up or staying flat. So I also have a position in CGC and CWeb that I'm building right now. I have a huge shopping list, as you can see. There's just Canadian and US, but that's definitely the theme play I'm looking to get into in the future. But you can see that Hexo closed well. So let's jump into some analysis on some individual tickers. I'll do these ones quick. So we'll take a look at Apple. So Apple on the daily, what did that daily candle look like today? Oh, what's going on here? Okay, we'll use this. All right, so Apple, 5-minute bear flag into the end of the day. What did that daily candle look like? Absolutely terrible. See here, we had a gap at 106, another gap at 96. Next support isn't until 89. That is very, very bearish. We also have previous all-time high at 99.99, so that could act as support. What I'd like to see, I want to buy this up and back up the truck. If we get to 100, I'll scale in 3 orders. If we get to 100, I'll buy 1 order. If we get to 95, I'll buy another order. And if we get to, or 96, doesn't matter, I'll take one of the, as long as we gap fill that. And then I'll look to do another one in the 90s, and I'll look to hold that for a potential weekly bounce and set a weekly lower high. As because of the amount of the pullback now, we'd probably just expect a weekly lower high and lower low, something like that. So yeah, that's it's not good. Not good on QQQ whatsoever, or Apple, sorry. So taking a look as well at Apple, there was something else I wanted to show. Apple was on the 1 minute. What gave me confidence to enter, we had I believe we had a 5-minute inverse head and shoulders as well on Apple. Yeah, right here. So let me draw that out for you guys. So we had that inverse head and shoulders, broke above EMA 12 as well, and we held, and then we had that uptrend. And like I said, I knew to be expecting a slow grind up into the end of the day. That's what I would have done, and the most likely scenario in my opinion. And yeah, we had everything giving us the signals, and you know, you can ignore, you can choose to be biased in your opinions, but again, slow grind up. That's what it's been like. Slow grind up, flush down. Slow grind up, flush down. Slow grind up, flush down. Like, super obvious what they're doing. They use the share split for Tesla and Apple to suck every last dollar into the market at a retail, make retail buy all these calls, pin it at 330. They made the money on the puts, burn the calls, money for nothing, kept the premium. Oh, it's a crazy game that we play, but you got to know the game. Join the game. If you don't know the game, join a community of people who do know the game, because this gets very frustrating when you're losing money and you don't know what it is that's happening, or and you know, a lot of people are scrambling. What news happened? What news? It's purely technical. And these like, how does something run thousands of percent and hundreds of percent, and then it nothing goes up forever? And I highlighted it in my market bubble video. Go to my channel, research it. I gave you multiple weeks heads up. We were well outside of the Bollinger Band. Look at the size of that bubble on Apple, and it was consistent amongst all individual stocks as well. Look at it here on QQQ and the indexes. SPY finished outside of the monthly Bollinger Band as well. When has that ever ended well? The answer is never in the history of its existence. Not that that was the signal to go off of, but we also had the RSI, which we topped out on at my trend line, which I drew weeks ago. So again, I'm not trying to say that I know everything. I definitely make mistakes. I had a couple of bad trades that I shared with you guys in a couple other videos, but honestly, I've only had about 2 or 3 bad trades in the last month, because I'm being very conservative on the way up, and I'm being very aggressive on the way down. My account is at all-time highs. I hit new all-time high today. Again, not saying I know everything, not saying my strategy is the best, but maybe if you're not getting the results that you want, or you're trading with a group of people and you're not getting the results that you want, and you're getting into this groupthink scenario where you're just following the herd and just jumping on the gravy train, chances are the train's probably already gone and the ship sailed because you heard about it through the grapevine. So what I'm going to tell you is, doesn't have to be with us. We're an online stock trading, and we also focus on crypto and cannabis sectors. Join us for a 7-day free trial, $4.99 a month after that. You got nothing to lose. Have a great weekend. And if you were rattled today, just take a lap, go outside, enjoy nature. Don't think about stocks for the weekend, and just enjoy life, enjoy being healthy, stay healthy. It's only money, and we all start somewhere. So if you lost money today, don't worry, don't sweat it. We've all been there. If you made money today, congratulations, congrats to the bulls. I had such an amazing day. I hope all of you have a fantastic weekend. It's Rod again with Powell Group. Consider subscribing to the channel, tick the bell to be notified on any updates, and would appreciate a like if you have that in you. Have a great weekend, guys.